CHICKEN. Use the code CHICKEN in the shop.
Hey guys, the Chickens here. Welcome back to another Boom Beach video. In today's video, guys, we have 65 announced. Unfortunately, we do not have a title as of right now, but we're going to get into that and more all in today's video. So you guys, if you haven't already, you want to stay up to date on season 65. We're going to do some different stuff like we usually do, I guess, so it's not really that different in this off week coming up. So if you don't want to miss any of that, make sure you stay tuned and subscribe to the channel. And again, I appreciate anyone that has been using the code CHICKEN in the shop. It does help to support and all that good stuff. So, first off, we did, most importantly, end up making the top 500, guys. Look at that, 34 seasons. And this last one, man, that was right up there with some of the hardest ones ever, like including the past seasons when we had China. Which was always, you know, tough, especially towards the end. But this one kind of felt like one of those seasons. And maybe it's just me, but I feel like there's a lot of Chinese players either on the server now or maybe they've, I don't know. It seems like there's a lot more Chinese players now than there was initially after the server ban. So maybe it's just names. I don't know. So there's that. I was very, so since the last video, I actually had to go back in again last night, and honestly, we got super lucky. I can't show you the hit, of course, because the replays are done, but I messed up my hit super bad. We went in, and it was a totally weird base, one that I had not seen before. The hit that I'd been practicing for the last day or so did not work against it at all, but we got 233 over 231, and it was against King Smurf, again, who I matched up with a few times this season. I saw him in the comments. So if you see this, if you're watching Smurf, GG's, my dude. Thank you for saving the season. Appreciate you. And yeah, you made that a lot better than had we... And we actually just barely made it. The cutoff was 2380, so I was not safe at 2371. So yeah, that was a crazy, crazy finish to the season. Very wild. So hopefully next season isn't as, do I want to say grindy? I always say grindy. Is different. Hopefully next season is a little bit different. So we got that. We talked about what we want to see in the next Boom Beach update, whenever that would end up being. And let's check in on our position on the Mystical Monument. We are number 5 globally in the world and number 1 in Canada, which is pretty cool. So yeah, let's get into some, maybe we'll do some, I don't want to do warriors, let's do something slow and easy and controlled and just kind of relaxing. I don't know why I have Kavan with this layout. I think what we'll do, let's go Scorcher Laser Ranger. That could be kind of fun. Something totally wild. So yeah, I want to talk about Season 65 a little bit, guys. Some things that I think would make the season better, especially after this season. So the one good thing I will say about this season was the attacks were all very quick, and I think that was kind of the problem of what made the season so frustrating. It's like, oh man, I just lost like 6 attacks and I'm down a rank, or like, oh my god, I made it into, you know, back into Diamond to collect so quickly. Like, you could win and lose very quickly. And I feel like that just got exacerbated by the fact that the attacks were not only fast with rocket choppers, careful, but there was also no building health. So it kind of, it was kind of a good thing and a bad thing. So I would like to see maybe a little bit more defense, or just the right amount of defense, where we can use different troop combinations, and it's not always kind of feeling like sort of the same thing. So I think that would be big going into next season. And that, yeah, I just more troop variety. Like, I'd say the same thing if it was 150% building health at the very beginning of the tech tree, and we only used Kavan, heavy choppers, and bombers for the whole season. Like, that would also get pretty stale. The beauty about the beginning of the warship seasons is that we get to use goofy stuff, and it's either annoying or fun, but it's at least something different, and, you know, like heavy rush with riflemen or something like that. And it's refreshing by the time we get to that next troop because it's like, oh man, thank God I don't have to do that anymore. Or it's like, okay, good, I get to use this thing that's even better that I was lacking in some of these previous attacks I was doing with these other random troops. So I felt like it was kind of missing that. But yeah, I don't think we need to see any huge changes. I did really enjoy Rodero, even though he did have a lot of problems. So I'm hoping that they end up fixing those or just making it known that it is just simply going to be how it works if the hot pots are meant to freeze them for whatever reason. You know, as long as it's the same way for everybody, then that's fine. But yeah. I'd like to see him come back. He was a lot of fun. I'd really like to see him on the main base too. Because his bombing run, when you can get it set up, it is, you know, really satisfying to use. Where's the HQ? Boom. This is pretty good. Scorchers and lasers, they're doing a pretty good job here. And we're unboosted. I mean, we're at 300. We're actually at less than 300 VP when we started this, but we're at pretty low victory points, so it shouldn't be too surprising, I guess. What else do we want to see? I just want to see a nice balanced season. Maybe 3 different troop varieties that are like staple metas for 3 and 4, 5 and 6, and then the final meta. I feel like those seasons end up playing well. The stuff that we typically have. Let's go back to the bait. We've kind of been having these crazy seasons. I feel like the last 3 or 4 sneak peeks I've done, it's always started with like, you guys are not going to believe this, or it's like something totally crazy and wacky. I don't think it always needs to be like that. Sometimes it can just be the bread and butter, you know, whatever the meta ends up being, and like a bunch of different things kind of have their moment. I'd be okay with that. But I guess I'm biased because honestly, last season stressed me out quite a lot. I found it took me a very long time to move it all. I also, you know, that was compounded by I made some bad mistakes in the tech tree, and then, you know, I compounded that again by getting the right tech but getting it in the wrong order, and then just nothing was even available until really the last day because I didn't really make diamond until the last week. And then from there, we made 23 basically like 5 or 6 days after just making diamonds. So it was kind of a lot of play at the end, kind of stuck in the middle for a long time. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that makes warships not fun. But, whoops, interesting to see kind of nonetheless. So, yeah. We're just crushing it with these Scorchers and these Laser Rangers. But yeah, you guys let me know what you want to see down below in the comments. Do you want to see Ruddy come back again every season? I'm okay if they want to use him kind of like a proto troop where he's in there for some seasons and then he's gone for other seasons. I think it just makes it more exciting when we do get him. Because the last thing we also really need in the tech tree is just an extra hero for 42 keys to, you know, to have to unlock when we either, I think we'd probably always want to use him, you know, based on how good he was, but if he's just going to be in the way and then half the time he's not even useful, like, I don't want to see that. We don't need a 5th hero to clog up the keys anymore. So yeah, that's my thoughts on season 65, guys. Well, at the end of 64 and then going into 65, hopefully some things that we can change. But yeah, you guys let me know what you think down below in the comments. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. That is going to wrap it up for the video today. Make sure to leave a like if you found it interesting. Do we have another box? No. We got 5 more to get. We got some chests to collect. Entertain or informative. We'll catch you next one, guys. Check it out. Backpack.